Okay, so now they're crossing the ice. British artillery, now would be the time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17 here, bringing you another COH2 replay. Unfortunately, feeling under the weather again, but don't worry, I have someone else filling in my place. And apparently they're qualified for this, so totally qualified for being on stream right now, absolutely. Any case, this is a 3v3 on Oka River. We got Turd Wrangler, like a turd in the wind. We got Miami Palm, we got Mom, Sherwoodo, Unknown Soldier, and Eye of the Tiger. Double check their ranks real quick. If you want to submit a replacement to greyshotproductions at gmail.com, and I'll take a look. Looks like we have a bunch of lower ranked players this game, but we've seen top skill from them in the past, so I have full confidence in their ability. Meanwhile, it looks like we have a large force of Germans, actually both with Assault Gren, so we have both the Strategic Reserve and I assume Tiger. Nope. Yeah, Strategic Reserve again. I was gonna say the other one for elite troops, but no, or not elite troops. The other one with Assault Grenadiers, that's the Sugi, which I despise. But in any case, they both pick Strategic Reserve, doubling up, and we also have Fortified Armor. We'll see how things go. Any case, looks like the Germans are pushing into the middle point to try to grab the fuel. Allies are coming in full force. Again, 2 Soviet and a Brit. Two Brits and a Soviet versus 3 Wehrmacht. Again, greyshotproductions@gmail.com. That's where you can submit a replay, and I'll take a look. Any case, MG goes into the build. Actually, we might see. Oh my god, I was gonna say we 2 MGs in this center. That's a lot of MGs. Assault Grenadiers trying to grab that fuel. On the other side, again, usually it devolves to a 2v2 like engagement and then a 1v1 over here. Miami Palm successfully pushing back the Brits and should be able to take that point. There are some Brit force over here, but it looks like he's trying to block a possible flank on his right before the Brits really bring up the MG and push forward. We do have a small push by penal troops and British forces, but the MG is stopping them dead in their tracks. Very nice. Assault Gren's coming in and just killing the rest. Oh my god. It is quite a bit of a slaughter right now. Any case, yeah, very good strategy by the Germans. Very quickly and easily pushing back all fronts across the map. Again, the Allies are in a full retreat. They have some defensive positions, although not great, judging by like this house and, well, everything else. I'm not saying this house is technically bad. It's just it's a very weak structure. So if the Germans are able to bring a mortar up or something like that, it can very easily be destroyed very quickly. Anyway, they also are grabbing mid, even though the Allies did manage to capture that, so they were trying to put some pressure via VP points. Now, there is a Vickers machine gun here, and it seems to be actually trying to run him over. He might have actually made it if he kept running, but he doesn't have the upgrade yet, so he won't have the grenade, so he would unfortunately be not very hopeful at knocking out that building. Without grenades, it would be a slow, steady, just loss for the Germans, just being slowly suppressed and then killed by the penal troops. We also have additional grenadiers and mortar coming in. Again, good idea. Get something to fight light armor like the universal carrier, which has been brought up by Sherwoodo. Again, for these guys right now, we have the 2 Brits and the Soviet. The Soviet has gone urban defense. Again, very, very good in terms of like putting down buildings to try to keep the front going forward, as well as just the KV-2 and shock troops for heavy armor and heavy infantry alike. I say, and shock troops especially might be able to put these Assault Grenadiers in their place. Penal troops coming on the flank. MGs facing one way. Penals could come in. Hopefully hit him from another. At the very least, he's going to put pressure on this MG and might kill it on the retreat. Hold on. Yes, he does. Good job, Penal. Assault Gren's trying to come in and save it, but remember, we still have the Vickers over here, which could cause suppression if they move up any further. Plus, his universal carrier now has suppression. So, very nice job there. British forces kind of moving in. I'm surprised they don't try to move into the building. Actually, there's no MG in that over there. Oh, good kill right there. A lot of dead Soviets by the Assault Grenadiers. Again, we have an attempted penal charge, but it just didn't work. The satchel wasn't as effective as he probably wanted it. MG trying to cause suppression on this British infantry in heavy cover. Grenadiers coming in. They should be fine at this moment. Penals and British trying to cover up the flank. That's Mom Fusion's trying to come in and try and knock him out, but alas, just not doing it. He's having to fall back, realizing there's too many frontline troops Meanwhile, down south, it's actually going a little bit better for the Germans. They have a sniper, some grenadiers, and MG. The British are just trying to stop them. They do have this MG over here, stopping them from taking the VP, but that's not stopping the Germans from pushing pretty deep and knocking out some key territory. Again, so much so that it's actually cutting off their line. So the Allies are not getting all that much. Now, as soon as they get this, yeah, they're going to get all their supplies back. But overall, if they can keep hitting that very vulnerable nerve, the Germans should be in the clear. Now, if the MG is farther back, he should have probably brought this up, unless he's keeping it back just in case of flank on the right. But in the meantime, the sniper is here, the grenadiers are there. They're all firing from different angles, so they are putting a lot of pressure. Sniper as well, as long as he can keep his range. Oh, nice grenade though, hits the building, 2 models down. The sniper is putting pressure on him, but the grenadiers can't keep up their own. Unfortunately, it took too much damage. Panzer grenadiers are coming in, but they're a little farther back. Sniper is going to attempt to hold it back, but there's 7 models, and unfortunately, it can't fire that quickly. So yeah, it's going to retreat. Good idea. You don't want to lose the sniper in the middle of that fight. Unfortunately, the MG is still here, so the British really can't advance any further. Meanwhile, Flame Half-Track, of course, comes in. And we have penal troops up in the north that decap the VP point, but I'm assuming they're keeping their distance because they don't want to be barbecued. Yeah, this thing will literally tear them apart piece by piece. So they need to keep their distance unless they get AT, which actually we can see they're both being upgraded right now in terms of getting AT weapons. So we can see them come around, do a lot of damage toward that unit, and possibly take it out. Anyway, MG get knocked out from the mortar, so very good job. Mortar pit being set up to deal with that, and very nice job there. Universal Carrier, by the way, still alive, some mines being placed, but the Brits, unfortunately, at least this scenario, doesn't have a huge army. Still very small. Unknown Soldier is the bigger army in terms of frontline troops, but not a lot in terms of support. And Eye of the Tiger is the weakest out of the bunch, although tons of manpower. I don't know what he's saving up for, but I really, really hope we're not going to see an M42 spam. That would be horrifying, because he's waiting, and that's the only thing I can think of the reason why he would be saving up that much manpower, unless he wants a shock troop horde. I mean, that makes a little more sense, but it's not as gamey or as crazy. So I'm actually kind of hoping for the M42 a little bit more than just the shock troop horde, especially because that would impact his manpower quite a bit. Anyway, British forces taking over the fuel. Unfortunately, the Germans still have the other one. So even if they take that one, they've still had double fuel for quite some time. Plus additional assault grades coming in. They have taken some losses themselves. But overall, the Germans are in a lot better position with a lot of support units, a lot of frontline units, etc. Mortar fire coming on this MG. Once again, another mortar pit being made by the Brits to try to push back those MG and defensive emplacements the Germans have made. A lot of barbed wire over here. I'm actually surprised. Vehicle comes in, it'll very easily shred it, but hey, you know what? At least the infantry will be blocked unless they get rail engineers with minesweepers, which he's not done. Once again, Germans going for the weak point, cutting the influx of resources to the Allies, and right now they are down significantly compared to the Axis. Again, trying to stay in cover. Rail engineers still in the far back. I was gonna say, so the German infantry could throw a bundle grenade and just kill. Oh, please, please. Alright, 2 models down. And they're down to 2 models respectively, so they will have to pull back. Anyway, they get pushed back very quickly, and that would allow a flank to occur in this sector, which could allow for a complete collapse in the Allied lines in this front. Meanwhile, the same thing is possibly going to happen by the Axis force over here, because while, yes, they coming in and be like, oh, we could take them on, shock troops, combined with all the other forces, MGs, and the fact that Eye of the Tiger built this as essentially an FOB for the Soviets, so they can heal. Also, we can do the rally defenses that increase their attack power and everything else. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing indeed for this ability to be activated. Yeah, it's just not going to help. So the Soviets are just going to press after that assault just completely backfired. Assaultgren's trying to hold the line, but there's going to be so many Soviet forces coming on in. It's going to be hard to do so. He's like, I'm just going to get rid of this cover. See you later. He retreats, luckily. Make sure his men survive. But unfortunately, they did lose the fuel. Pretty, like, again, it's not like, oh, they can recap it. It's like, no, the British and the Soviets pretty firmly took over this left side. And unfortunately, have been pushed back. Meanwhile, again, they are going to reinforce their men and probably move for a counterattack. But so do the British have to do in this side, because not only did they lose, again, their mortar pit, but the MG got pushed back, and the Germans pretty much have this entire right front. It's still going to be a while before the Soviets are able to maybe push up and take a lot more of this territory that's pretty much unguarded. There is a mortar here, but look, against frontline shock troops and penal troops, that's not going to hold them back. Just unfortunate for them. Shock troops, though, moving on in, trying to hold, take that VP point, maybe push up to the munitions, grab that. We do have a British counterattack with Brens and Piats. Get a little confused. You got Piats for your British infantry section, but you know what? Maybe you really have to deal with that. No, I actually take that back. That's just stupid because, again, you really want these troops to be better at fighting infantry. Maybe Royal Engineers could be the better suited at fighting the armor at long range. I mean, sure, you can. It's just, I don't know. I think it just decreases their effectiveness overall. Besides, they still have the half-track, which, by the way, he's using it to heal. You can put troops inside to heal your men now. Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers moving on in. Again, you still have the Brit line, which is going to be hard to deal with, but they're also not in any heavy cover, so it should be pretty easy for the Germans in heavy cover or in a better defensive position just hold. I'm sorry, my spokesperson has decided to leave, so alas. Anyway, he's using smoke raid operation to drop smoke as it advances and decap points very quickly. Problem is the Panzer Grenadiers are in heavy cover and still trashing him, because again, they're very good close range and they're just charging the line. So yeah, he's going to lose all of his, oh my god. Unknown Soldier just being completely destroyed. He did get an AT gun, which again I think is what would have been better suited to fight that scout card, not Piats, but I digress. The Germans still have this territory, probably will counterattack pretty fiercely. Meanwhile, we possibly have a counterattack up north. We have upgraded assault grens, upgraded Panzerschrecks. Again, we have actually assault grens with a Panzerschreck, which unfortunate for the Panzer Grenadier that dropped that unit, or that piece of equipment. Meanwhile, we have additional forces coming on in, but the Germans are going to have a lot to handle because not only do they have Victor's machine gun opening fire, but you know, the flame will deal with that. They have PTRS rifles to counteract the half-track. Shock troops are on standby as well. Again, they're trying to stop. They're like, okay, we can easily. Oh wow, oh no, you did retreat it. All right, I'm surprised you didn't throw the satchel, but you know what? It's fine. The half-track still got pushed back. Mortar fire hitting a couple models, and wow, all of them are very weak. So shock troops, along with the British infantry moving on in, should easily be able to counteract against this force. Meanwhile, the other guys are just now coming in on the right-hand flank. Nothing really stopping them moving in. But that being said, it wouldn't be that hard to reposition these forces. Again, unless that was the whole ploy, was for him to, lure up a lot of these Soviet and British forces and then hit them from the flank. But he's not going for, like, their base or anything like that. He's just going in for the right VP. Royal Engineers are over here placing some mines, which they've scattered quite a bit, plus the Vickers is set up. So if they advance, these guys could be suppressed very easily and neutralized, which again is a big plus for the Allies, because right now, down south, not looking good. At least here it's a little more contentious and they're not losing so many resources. In fact, with at least them gaining some territory up here, it's allowing them to stay in this fight and actually equal the Germans. But I will admit, some caches are also helping with that resource war that they're currently fighting. Any case, Vickers machine gun and universal carrier opening fire. Remember, this thing can also suppress, so it's a mean unit to just have to just suppress enemy blobs. Then we have a, wow, okay, we have an MG42 coming in to flank the universal carrier, but unfortunately this thing doesn't have any armor piercing rounds. Unfortunate. So without any armor piercing rounds, it's just going to be not as effective against this unit. Also, because of the suppression still in effect for this unit, Panzerschrecks are going to miss a lot more, miss a higher frequency. Also, Unknown Soldier coming into saying, you know what, F it, I'm actually going to help out. Brings up a huge blob of forces and manages to push back a lot of the infantry in this sector. I wonder if he's given up in the south, which, by the way, if that's the case, Miami, you should advance and then mine up this entire area. That way, if they cross, you could detonate it and possibly send them to down to, well, it's probably not deep, honestly, but, you know, I've seen elephants just on top of each other just fall through, so it's honestly the Marianas Trench depth for a lot of these rivers in this game. It's very interesting, the fact that it just plunges down for miles and miles. But, you know, that's Co for you. The creeks, lakes, and everything are endless, just like Halo as well. If you ever jump in Halo, it's just, it goes and goes and just like a steep drop and you immediately die. It's not endless, of course. It's always the same depth of like 50 feet, but it does go. It is unfortunately death for any Spartan, even though technically they're in a suit that survives space. So how? And also, don't comic iterations have them underwater? What? It's weird. But in any case, moving on from that, sniper and scout car opening fire on the British, trying to stop them from decapping that point. Grenadiers on standby, most likely waiting for the unit to be neutralized before advancing itself, though. We can see here Sherwood is bringing up forces. We haven't really talked about the Allied commanders. They went commando for bombers and, well, really good, I would say support functions by, like, assault, which increased the attack prowess, and also recon. Your mortars, which, again, white phosphorus decreased their health. Sniper also trying to push them back, but there's a lot of force right here. I don't think the sniper's going to move a little bit farther back in order for it to not be torn apart. Scout car opening fire as well. But unfortunately, oh, look at that AT gun. Managed to neutralize it. Not the Petros rifles or Piats. Maybe just a simple AT gun. It will help out with your army. Just saying. Meanwhile, again, Germans just desperately trying to hold on to that VP point. And unfortunately for them, there's some British artillery coming in via Sherwood, which is called in a concentration barrage, which, again, very nice to see. It's going to cause damage all over the place, maybe some artillery strikes on the ice, but most likely just over the mainland. Unfortunately, that's also making some cover, so I would absolutely make some of my units go into cover, but at least by themselves. Oh, wow, nice grenades. Doing some damage, not a lot to the British, but enough. Sniper pulling back, universal carrier giving chase, though the ice is causing some mobility issues. Again, unfortunately, it just likes to slide, and just not a great, like, acceleration because of the ice. But, you know, it's fine. Just blow up the ice, and you go straight in the water. Wait, no, then you can't cross it. Never mind. Just don't do that. Anyway, meanwhile, up north, we have, Panzer IV being satcheled by a, Eye of the Tiger's penals. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, try to keep your distance, honestly. Ostwind's a good choice to fight the infantry. Germans have a ton of armor. We have Panzer IVs, half-tracks. What do the Allies have, honestly? The Allies don't really have armor. I mean, yes, you can count the universal carrier as armor, but not like serious armor. They just haven't had the resources for it. Like, he just upgraded his base now. He'll probably get armor out in the next minute or two, but it probably won't be until, like, the 20-minute mark we'll see actual, like, fully fledged armor, if I'm assuming, because he could get something right now. He's not. So I'm assuming he might be saving up for a Churchill or Comet or something. Panzer IV opening fire on the Royal Engineers, pushing them back. Again, we could see the half-track come in on the flank and burn him from the side. Again, they can always direct fire. As well, Miami Palm has got a Panzer IV. I mean, it seems like all the Germans have, which might be a bit of a defect if one of them gets a Firefly. And a command vehicle. Again, this command tank will boost the defense and keep the units around it in a better state, so the Germans could advance, which I'm surprised they haven't, and take over a lot of this territory. Meanwhile, it looks like Sherwood is focusing more of his efforts on this right point of the map, again trying to hold back the Germans, but realizing that's fruitless as the cache gets destroyed. And he's building a cache here, but honestly, he should stop. The Germans are pretty much dominating this sector, although the British are triple teaming the left, so their efforts just trying to hold there. Meanwhile, mass infantry blob, and I will say blob absolutely, advancing against the Panzer IV. Panzer IV, by the way, no armor. Piats might kill it, but the half-track coming in to try to save the day along with the assault grenadiers, which should probably blitz in and throw grenades against that. Honestly, second Panzer IV comes in. These guys are just ignoring the half-track that just sacrificed itself. Okay, now it moves in. Ostwind and Panzer IV opening fire against the blob. Again, a bunch of grenades would have probably killed that very quickly, so I'm actually a little surprised that that didn't happen. Although, good job pushing back the penals. Again, a lot of good close-range units, but unfortunately, you need maybe some long-range stuff. Also, Fusion, I don't know why do these guys have so much manpower? Like, seriously, what's with the manpower hoarding? Like, I don't mind having a reserve, it's just curious. Penal troops, once again, throwing a satchel. Blob fighting in negative cover, so it's not going to be as effective. Good grenades. Managed to kill a lot of models, at least 5 so far. British artillery also coming in right now, which is going to push that back. And these shock troops have a Panzerschreck, so yeah, the Ostwind needs to worry. Luckily, he does manage to get some nice shots on the unit that mattered, and doesn't end up croaking, which probably would have happened again if he didn't get out of there in time. But in any capacity, yeah, it's yeah, Germans are falling back, and shock troops and penals are advancing. Not a bad idea. Try to go in for that kill. Meanwhile, we do have a small possible counterattack, but with the amount of MGs and stuff, I highly doubt that. Meanwhile, again, right now, the player I am watching right now is Miami Palm. He could honestly strike deep into Allied lines and just annihilate a lot of their forces, if done correctly. He has a forward base that's literally, and by the way, this is a death zone for any Allied players, if he uses his troops not correctly, but in a good, meaningful manner, to try to move up and make sure that not only can they not cross, but pretty much they keep all this territory to themselves. Right now, the Allies are down resource-wise, and as long as the Axis keep fighting over these fringe points on this left side of the map, that's on the opposite side of the river from them, they'll be doing fine. Now, again, you could always have this possibility of the British holding them back against the river, but the counter to that would be, it's like, okay, cool, we'll just keep doing raids here. Sure, you can try to take it, but our base is right here, so we're just going to keep fighting, where I could say the same thing about the British, but we really haven't seen that. Also, command vehicle getting the cover. Panzerschrecks as well right there, which could annihilate this thing if they move up. I'm assuming he's just trying to get himself in cover before he does. Panzerschrecks advancing. Command tank not really taking all that much damage, although bouncing its shot. Oh my god, the blob is intact. Oh, please hit. Oh, damn it. He's hugging the left side. Throw a grenade, please. Luckily, the defensive nature of that command tank and its bonus is helping out, trying to keep this thing alive. Again, luckily the Panzer IVs are doing quite a bit of damage. Nice bundle grenade. Unit will escape because of the increase. Oh my god, they're being... Hit the ice! Shoot the ice! Before it's too late! Damn it, they crossed. You need AT, honestly. Hot damn, the British did lose a lot, though. They lost a lot of men. Unfortunately, they need more Panzerschrecks. I'm assuming he's upgrading this, but the command tank, while it is very good fortified, and yes, while it's definitely something that will definitely take some cracking, T-34 and the Churchill should be able to crack it. But, yeah, they're slowly breaking them apart, should easily knock them out. British trying to just, I guess, get back some weapons. And they may have sacrificed this tank just to hold the line, but that's not a bad idea. Again, sometimes you need to sacrifice a unit in order for the rest to live. And I'm assuming he's going to... Like, imagine if he got the elephant down here and just was sniping them across the way. That's what I was kind of hoping. Miami, I think a pack gun would have really helped you out. But you have enough MG bunkers that at least... If the armor doesn't advance in a quick manner, you should be fine for holding this territory. Also, a lot of caches brought down by Fusion. Good job there. Good job to see a very supportive player. So, hey, you know, that could definitely help, again, with the resources, and hopefully allow them to get some armor out sooner. We already have Fusion's Panther, which if he sent down south would help. Though it looks like he's gearing up for a counterattack over in this region. Assault Grenadiers just trying to slowly advance to decap that point. Meanwhile, the T-34 and the Churchill managed to knock out a bunker. Again, we need AT up staff, but luckily he does have teller mines in some locations, not all. Unfortunately, he's about to lose 300 manpower and 120 munitions, so not exactly a big win. But hopefully his allies see that he needs some help and will come and help him. But that's the problem with also his men. He's just so far away. It's hard to... You need to make sure you can hold that line. If you can't, well, unfortunately... it's a long way back is for the Wehrmacht because they don't have a forward base. Oh, we had some artillery come in, knocked out the building. But again, because of these forward bases the Soviets have made, doing pretty well for themselves. Oh, more bunkers are being knocked out by the... This bunker is just killing... this T-34 is just killing bunkers left and right. Oh my god, good job there. Good job there, T-34. Just keep killing all these bunkers. All the time he wasted building those. Meanwhile, lots of Panzerschreck forces coming on in. Again, still pretty far away from the elephant. And he's right now upgrading the Phase 3, so I'm assuming he'll try to get that out soon. But we'll see. MG opening fire on the Brits. But I could see artillery coming down on that MG. Which, red smoke? Red smoke? No red smoke. I'm actually a little surprised that we don't see that or a grenade. But suppressed too quickly. MG should focus now fire on the shock troops now, though we have smoke going on the MG to hopefully stop the suppression. Although an MG over here causing that to be suppressed. Panther trying to help, but the Fireflies coming on in. Once again, a vehicle over the water. Just point that out. Mass Panzerstrike Force, though, while this guy, the Tiger, is not paying attention, let's just knock it out with a bunch of, Panzerstrikes. Heal the last remaining bunker you have on that side, and then try to deal with the blob, which a Brumbar would probably deal with. Churchill coming on in. Drop smoke immediately, like, I'm not fighting that. Hopefully he can reinforce. Yeah, it looks like he is reinforcing. Gets additional Panzerstrikes, and, hopefully we'll counterattack. Another command vehicle, or command tank has been deployed. I guess he's just deployed at the help. It may not be amazing with penetration, but it will add something, and also add the defensive nature of its bonus will help out these Panzerstrikes fight off the Churchill with a better effectiveness than they would without it. Also, good idea coming around different angles to do maximum damage against all fronts against the Churchill. It now has to go over the ice to escape, which again, a couple Panzerstrikes could knock it into the ice. Very lucky the ice didn't break. Although we can see here with the ice, it is cracking. Meanwhile, Panther and Ostwind pushing in. It could cut off this Churchill. But last, they are not advancing on it. Meanwhile, we have a Sexton? Really? Sexton's hitting a lot of these forces over here, causing a bit of damage.
They still have 300 points remaining.
Ostwind is now coming on the ice with the Panther. I'm assuming escaping. It's funny how we also are not. I mean, that's the problem with this. The Germans don't have any real long-range artillery. They're fortification, a lot of support, and very good units. But they don't have artillery or airstrikes or anything. The Allies have a bit wider focus. Though, I will say, still resource-wise, the Germans, for the most of the time, have been doing a lot better. But if they can't take the south, the Allies will start to gain that advantage back. Because they've gotten 4 points back on this right side, where originally, like, what, 4 minutes ago, they had 1? If that, I think they had none. So yeah, it's just something to take note of. Anyway, half track still here again, good for reinforcing. This thing is over here, just barely alive. I'm assuming. Okay, yeah, he's building the heavy panzer corps to kind of counteract and come back. Meanwhile, Unknown Soldier coming back has a huge army. Same thing with Cher Widow. These guys are not done, not by any stretch of the imagination. They still have a wide selection of forces, and also good job building caches with your reserves. In terms of manpower. So again, you should be able to increase supply, which should help out with your resources doing specials against the Germans, who have kind of faltered. I think that maybe have been too much of a Panzer IV push. A lot of these guys went with medium armor, and I think advanced medium armor would have been a little bit better. Both are just trying to guard this point, but they're also putting a lot of pressure on the Germans right now, which hopefully, if they keep guarding all these points, I mean, yes, even if... Wow, okay, we have a box. All right. Anyway, even if the Germans keep decapping this point, you have a stable enough line, which I'm assuming you can just suppress them, easily push them back with artillery, with the priests, I'm sorry, sextons and everything else you have. So, it's just one of those things. Ostwind over the ice, that's a bit risky, but seems to have paid off. It did push back a lot of the British infantry trying to move in. Meanwhile, the Germans are pushing on the right-hand side, slowly but surely, even though the Allies are putting down tons of caches all over the place, which again helping them out resource-wise immensely. Meanwhile, large counterattack with a Panzer IV and Panther. T-34 won't hold, but he does have the amazing, the overpowered Ford. It's not. It's really weak, but you know, it'll do something. Okay, maybe it'll just bounce, but you know, it'll try. He'll try. Meanwhile, Firefly coming on in, gets a good shot, and by good shot I mean it kind of misses. But you know, 45mm. Oh, good rocket strike though. Shocks the unit. Meanwhile, Allies are coming back full force. Germans are all on this 1 point, which I don't understand. They need to start separating their men a bit more. T-34 could one-shot all that if it gets lucky enough. Or shock troops throw a grenade. Meanwhile, again, Axis are being pushed back just quite a bit. And Allies use artillery to help clear it, but should be able to take it back. Which, again, very good to see. Meanwhile, we have more German forces on the right. I don't know what they're doing, per se. If they're planning on attacking over the ice, this may be the dumbest move I've seen today. But we'll see. We'll have to see what happens. Because my biggest fear right now is the fact that we could see a massive swing by the Germans. And unfortunately... the British will be like, aha, you're over the ice. Cool, I'm just going to fire a grenade over the ice to make your men sink to the... Oh, wait, didn't break the ice, okay. The ice is not broken yet. So far, so good. Maybe throw a grenade. God damn, I'm waiting for the ice to crack. It's just not happening. Oh, he throws a grenade. Come on. Not enough to break the ice? Really? Hot damn. I was really expecting the ice to crack. Where are those AT guns? Move up the AT guns. Oh, this AT gun's firing. Oh, that broke. That's some water right there. We have the blob coming in. Again, it's still stuck. One more shot. A bunch of Piats firing. Sink that mother... Come on. It's being suppressed by the MG, which is why you don't blob like that. How is that? Is that Panther dancing over the water? Like, what is it doing? I mean, to be fair, it's just not, unfortunately, not getting a lot of traction. But, like, I think some of the ice broke around it, so it's having trouble maneuvering. Finally, the thing sinks. By God, it was playing with God for so long. I was like, is it really going to survive? No. God's like, don't worry, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I'm going to sink it. As you can see, that foot deep water. Oh my God, and the Oswin goes down. Thank you. Finally, some armor sinking beneath the waves. British forces pushing on in. Actually, by the did it retreat? Is there a retreat area over here? Oh, he's building. He's making a retreat point over here. Okay. Meanwhile, big Panzer IV / Panther army moving up north. I don't know how effective that's going to be per se, but hopefully it's slightly effective, because right now the Allies have they've slowly been steadily advancing in this sector, at least holding them off pretty well. Unfortunately, they've run to this scenario where they'll just let the Germans push in and just root them out, but here's hoping that they actually manage to keep pushing the Germans back, maybe to the river. Double Firefly is going to be pretty much easy to knock out that Panther. Again, very powerful strat right there in terms of the amount of AT damage it can do. Thanks. By the way, the cat has moved away. It's no longer on my left, and I should probably mention, because I'm wearing like heavier clothes, she now apparently likes to sleep on my lap, because she's like, oh, you actually have more clothing on. Okay. Well, I'm not going to tear it apart yet, but just in case, I'll be right there waiting. But any case, so yeah, once I feel better, you'll probably see the cat in my lap during the game, so we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, yeah, German force is not very big in terms of their overall population. At least that gentleman is. This guy's about to lose a lot. That's why I'm saying not very big. Third Wrangler, oh my God, is about to be annihilated with those Fireflies. Yep, there it goes. Katusha might be able to actually get a final shot in. Nope. 45mm does. God damn it, why? Airstrike coming in by the bombers, trying to stop the Germans from taking that point. Meanwhile, it's a total German retreat. Panzerwerfer coming in. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Killing the blob. Knocking it out. More Panzerwerfers coming down. Doing a little bit toward the armor, but the armor is pretty much still advancing. They have enough T-34s and Fireflies that anything pretty much they fight, except for mainline AT guns, is pretty much going to be KO'd. MG following suit. They're pushing the Germans all the way back. This could be an issue where maybe they fire in the ice breaks. Come on. Yes! Finally! We see some ice breaking, and it's not like in the last ditch. Also, missiles missed. Counterattack by, wait, is that? Hold on. Where's the, oh, Panzer Strike Force. Okay. Panzer Force still dying. Alas. There goes 2 Panzer IVs, as I stated. Third Wrangler, not a huge army. Not a huge army. I can see a failure coming. Trust me. I know. I know. Speaking of failure, I'm actually surprised the Germans haven't taken over this sector, because they have forces just sitting around, so that's why. Meanwhile, Panzer Strike Forces are trying to hit the Firefly and T-34. He could use the T-34 to hold him back, or in this scenario, I think he's dropping, yeah, with smoke rate operations, drop smoke on the points in order for him to try to slowly retreat. Not a bad tactic. Actually use that defensively. That's a really good move. Good job, Unknown Soldier. Meanwhile, again, MG suppressing the Panzer Grenadiers, and yeah, there is a small force here. Oh my God, this thing had to have been decrewed. It's just slowly moving back. Yeah, MG facing the wrong way, so good job there. But overall, Allied forces committed a successful assault against German lines and managed to pretty much successfully root them out of this point again. Now, I think they should advance further and knock out the caches and just send in shock troops to just clear it. I mean, come on. Eye of the Tiger, your shock troops are just they're here, why not send them in and just go murder? Like, murder. Come on. Anyway, or just make, I don't know, this a forward base. Good grenade. Knocks out a couple models. This one also knocks out a few models, but this one will retreat. Again, unfortunately, the Germans are now blobbing as much as the British, but at least they have their blob operational, while unfortunately the unknown soldier does not. But that might change. Katusha opening fire, missing most of the shots. Panzerwerfer opening fire, actually hitting not only the armor, but some of the engineers as well, so good strike right there. Meanwhile, again, we have a Churchill coming down south. Panzer Grenadiers are in standby. If I was him, I would absolutely place an S minefield over the water, so that way, again, any armor that comes over the water just falls straight through. I mean, if you're placing enough Teller mines and stuff like that and additional mines down south, why not place an S minefield? Also, good grenade, gonna push it back very quick. Yep, there goes another model. One last shot, might kill it. Oh my god, retreat it. I know you probably have a forward base over here, I assume. Oh, you have a half track, okay. But yeah, it's probably best to just get out of there. Meanwhile, he's coming over and be like, fine, I'll take mid, because apparently my two allies can't. But while he... Apparently, while Sherwood notices that, he's like, well, if he's focusing in mid, I'm going to focus all my armor down south. Unfortunately, he's about to run into those Teller mines. So, the Grenadiers couldn't get out of the building fast enough either. Panzerstreck's opening, or not even opening fire. I wonder if the tree's in their way. Maybe they're on break. They're like, we're on break. They're being shot at, and we don't get back to the war for another 15 minutes. Meanwhile, again, Firefly and Churchill just annihilating that armor. And again, Firefly just removed the cover, which allowed the Churchill to very easily kill it. So, very nice job there. Oh my god. T-34, get off the ice. We saw what happened to the last one. Oh no. I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm just going to point that out. Say goodbye to it. Wow, this is actually not... Well, actually, the ice here is actually pretty stable. So, maybe that's the reason. Oh, nope. Exploded. Didn't fall through the ice, though. Didn't fall through the ice. Churchill's still advancing against all odds. Okay. So, like, you know what, guys? I got this. I mean, my armor might be 60%, you know, removed, and I may have a damage engine, but that doesn't matter. I'm still gonna push up against a goddamn elephant. Although we do have a Sexton now opening fire upon it, so maybe get some few hits in. Panther coming down on the flank, though again, Firefly and Churchill could very quickly put him out of misery if it can still fire while it's over the water. I think you just realized, yeah, this is a bad play. Missiles, I believe, just unlocked, so he can fire as well on that. That doesn't matter. 60% depleted. Elephant, though, moving on up. By the way, this elephant does have scope, so we need someone else for spotting. Luckily he does have recon. So, yeah, expect this armor to start dying very quickly. Meanwhile, Germans, once again, pushing in the north. Again, they're trying. I feel like the British and them... Oh, my God, the amount of Katyushas. Yeah, pull them back. Eye of the Tiger before they start dying. Luckily, the Fireflies are very quickly putting this Panther... I was gonna say gonna kill it, but nope, they missed the rocket strike. I thought he probably thought it was going back left, but no, he backed right. Oh boy. Again, Germans, in order, like, honestly, for them to win. Oh, wait, Panzerwerfer, hold on. Yeah, not that effective. Okay, for them to win, honestly, a flank from the north. There's not many mines or anything in this region. A flank here could have flanked those Katyushas, and also you could call in a. Oh god, you could probably call like direct Panzerwerfers to focus on these buildings, maybe like close range, try and neutralize them. Set up Brumbars to fight off the infantry. That's what I would recommend. I mean, you could add in MGs as well. Miami seems to be doing fine. I think he's just overly cautious. And to be fair, that's not bad, but the amount of defenses he's placed, and then he had to fall back after not getting proper equipment, and then come back with it, it's kind of annoying. It's really, really annoying, honestly. Meanwhile, his allies are just being shredded. You got Stug, turd. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, that Stug is not going to help. Also, I love how these Soviets have been upgraded with every other faction's armament. You have Panzerschrecks, Piats, oh my god, Bren guns. It's every faction's just like, here, take our leftovers. And the shock troop's like, cool. And with that, we'll get up to Vet 3. Unfortunately now, Eye of the Tiger has gotten the KV-2. which is definitely not going to be helpful for the German infantry that's going to try to take the left side again. Again, I feel like they should just send around a... Do you still have a T... No, you don't. Okay, I would get a T-34, but I would also use maybe your infantry and armor to kill a lot of these caches and points, honestly. Like, once again, I feel like you guys could be doing a lot more aggressive behavior. This game is slowly just going on, but I feel like, again, just kind of ramping things up with a bit more aggression might help you guys out a lot more. Don't blob, for oh God. Don't blob. Meanwhile, Blob is coming back in, so we'll see how long that lasts. Universal Carrier coming on the flank. Katusha just hitting all of them, but like I said, even with double Katusha, it doesn't do much against armor because it's goddamn armor. You're not going to do all that much, though it did give enough sight, I assume, for the British coordination barrage, which should bring up some airburst shells, artillery, which might do a bit more damage versus the armor. Not too much, as we can see, but enough. It'll be like 10-50% additional damage, maybe 20 if it's lucky with the hits. Meanwhile, the Tiger ambushed the Firefly, which for... Oh, wow, there's a mine, right? I thought it was the German mine, but nope, it was the British. So if he advances, he's effed. Oh my God, we're going to get double mine. Double whammy for the Brits. Now they have to just keep their distance with the Firefly, and yeah, that thing will just keep shredding all this armor. Churchill as well can move up. Yeah, honestly, just stay out of the lot. Like, stay out. You could move up your Firefly to hit them and just snipe them. Like, it's not like the elephant's moving in. It's not. It's still stationary over there. Panzerwerfer coming in, possibly over here? Maybe? Oh, no. Dude, why would you... Like, it will break ice. You should have hit the ice. So, yeah, the Germans are really focusing. Although, again, I feel like the British could have done a lot more damage against these guys. They at least crippled the armor so they can't continue their assault. Unfortunately, though, the Germans, for the love of God, stop emplacing. I understand you want to emplace, but they have a sexton. Oh, my God. Also, it would probably be better for your team, because right now, this blob is on the retreat. G can't hold off against the British infantry and all the Fireflies and the KV-2 and everything. So this guy's effectively going to lose this side. But don't worry, you guys got the other. Yeah, so I'm assuming what might happen, the Germans might counterattack across the water. But they have a Churchill, Firefly, and a Sexton, which could break up the ice. Again, it's something that I'm just pointing out the fact, like, I don't mind them doing a flank, but if they're going to have this many men, it's not a flank, it's a front. It's literally a frontal assault with the main German armament. So they're going to be prepped and ready to go, and if they charge against this ice, it could be a slaughter on that battlefield. Meanwhile, this MG, it's just been chilling over here. Biofusion is just suppressing a few British forces, which might help stop this, them from capping everything. Luckily, KV-2's like, I should probably come in and help. Thank God. Meanwhile, again, large armament force coming on this flank. We could honestly see a major push across ice. This is gonna be good. Elephant should probably fortify up here so we can then fire through, or even here. Panzer IV. I don't know why you're advancing that. I mean, I guess you're trying to move up, and so that way if they cross, you shoot it. But we'll see. Luckily, Recon's overhead so they can see the British defenses that are currently being placed. Honestly, you might want to move an AT gun down here. I'm actually I mean, luckily, the Soviets are capping the entirety of the north, so that's good. Unfortunately, though, the Germans are quickly crossing the river, but they're crossing over an area that would easily killed. So that KV-2, instead of retreating, maybe should advance. Maybe should go back and try to stop that. Panzerwerfer coming in, not really hitting the shock troops too much. And oh my God. Okay, hold on. What's your range right now? Okay, it's not bad, per se. I'm assuming once fortified, you'll be able to see a lot more. Panzer IV advancing, though. Yeah, Firefly and Churchill are right there. I don't know what fell through the ice, but it wasn't... I'm just going to make the assumption that it was a British squad. I'm going to make that assumption. Meanwhile, they've fortified. I'm surprised they aren't oh my God, they're still over the ice. AT gun? AT gun? You want to reposition? Okay, so now they're crossing the ice. British artillery, now would be the time. Oh my God, they're actually advancing. German forces have managed to cross the ice against all odds. though the northern push is being flanked by Fireflies, and the Sexton's hitting up there. Also, the British artillery is about to come in. There goes one. Airburst shell kills an elephant. What am I telling you? Churchill, unfortunately, vet 3 is probably going to croak. Panther Force still doing a lot of damage, but additional Firefly support coming on in. When another Firefly croaks, but there should be, if they can do rapid succession, they might be able to kill at least that one Firefly. The rest of them coming in, oh, there, they kill it. The rest of them coming in, though, the rest of the armor is so damaged. Like, this tank, I don't think is giving them, oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah, it's not giving him the bonuses, so that they would have additional, like, support if that tank got closer. Luckily, it is fortified, so it is still doing quite a bit from that long-range shot. So, like, that's not bad. I think the elephant in place here would have been a lot better than it charging across the fucking ice. Panthers should be able to knock out the KB2 if it's lucky. Oh, wait, nope. We got, hey, Command Valentine coming in to save the day, and actually does. KB2 is barely alive. Holy mackerel. Unfortunately, we do have a new elephant. We have the Panzer IV command tank are still here. So, yeah, if they cross, they're still bad. Plus, good job by Turd Wrangler. Finally using, like, okay, where are the Katyushas? Let's target them. Goes for him and kills one. I don't know if he's going to go for the other one, but there is some AT on these shock troops. Just from, again, equipment taken. So, yeah, he probably wants to pull back. Su-85 also hitting. So, the remnants of the Soviet and British armies are at least trying to hold back the German counterattack. But also take note that they have... the Germans have to do this. They're losing VP points at a quite effective manner. Nice kill on the Su-85, but if they don't take back some of these VP points, they will lose this game. Meanwhile, Flame Half-Track just coming in, burning everything, because again, they're not... There's too many fights going on, too many different fronts. Panzerwerfer coming in, again, causing additional damage. The British base is still really... Oh, wait, no. This platoon command post is barely alive. But everything else... It could be a lot worse. So, yeah, they can't cross now. There's too much broken ice and whatnot. And also, I love this. The Sexton's like, I'm just going to keep shooting them. I'm just going to keep getting veterancy like that. I mean, why wouldn't I? So after all that carnage, the cat has returned. I guess she's like, you know what? After all that destruction, you've interested me. You've interested me. Anyway, Elephant coming down south, trying to, I guess, reinforce Miami's forward line, while Miami's forces themselves take this VP point that hopefully stop the drain on their overall command points. But yeah, it's the victory points. It's 246-82. So right now the Allies have a three times advantage, or 3-1 advantage. Meanwhile, shock troops trying to advance realize that's a mistake. Artillery once again coming down, hitting the engineers. They fall back. Again, they're fortified, so they can take damage. Don't be wrong. They'll. Katyusha's now opening fire. They're just using artillery. That's all they're doing is using artillery. I mean, it's interesting that you're fortified. Don't be wrong, but they're just arting you to death. Panzer IV may want to get the hell out of there, but we'll see. Blob coming in from the north once again. We'll see if Turd Wrangler's able to do another counterattack. Luckily, again, the Axis did take that VP point. Allied lines, though, again, they still have a bunch of mines everywhere. They still have Fireflies, or at least he got more Fireflies on top of the one he already had from earlier. So now 3 Fireflies. If we see this elephant cross the river again, I'm seriously going to be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Also, this one Sexton is doing so much work. Artillery's coming in. Oh, hitting a lot of British forces. That was actually not bad. Okay. Once again, I love the fact that this elephant couldn't see it, so this just scraping the edge of the line, it just managed to just walk past it. Dude, either hunker it down or do I don't know what you have to do, but do something with it. Meanwhile, again, shock troops coming in to retake the middle VP point, so good job there. Resource-wise and population, the Allies are still, like, easily in the upper 70s. Axis, though, are in the lower 70s, so... Although they are taking back the fuel, hopefully the VP point, if they can flank this NG. They're trying to take back more and more of their line. Luckily, they did kill one of the forward bases, but luckily the Soviets have plenty others that they can use, and also plenty of other buildings to make, and reserves as well. Like, the one thing about the Allies, they still have a ton of reserves. Axis, Turd Wrangler does, but Baum, I mean, he's kind of using what all he can. Finally realizing maybe just sitting there without, additional support maybe not be the best idea. Finally pulls back. Panzer Grenadiers on standby to hopefully help kill this KV-2. It's been a bane in the Axis side. Wehrmacht forces pushing on in, trying to go for the kill. Panzerwerfer coming on in, trying to, I assume, kill the AT gun. Kind of missed that. Artillery, though, gets a nice shot there. Push back the Grenadiers. Flank coming in by Unknown Soldiers forces. Using a lot of, I'm assuming, Piats that are with these men as well. They have a couple Piats. Allowing the Churchill and some other British forces, more likely to fight infantry. Good shot. Kills the Panther and the Stuke. There's no way it's going to hold. So yeah, successful Allied counterattack in this front. Firefly is backing up the KV as well. So Axis forces are going to have to pull back in this front. Honestly, just because of the fact that there's no way. There's no way they can win. There's absolutely no way they can win that battle. Again, they don't have the men, they don't have the resources, and they're too, this isn't going to hold against 3 Fireflies. Hate to break it to you. This will not. So I don't know what you're going to do. But anyway, Allies continue their advance. Axis persistent, trying to hold that area. Panzerwerfer coming on in. Doing quite a bit of damage. Fireflies definitely taking some hits. Unfortunately, Stug that was dishing those hits did croak from the, I believe, Panzerschreck, honestly. Firefly Vet 3 needs to get the hell out of there. I don't know why it's not retreating, but it's not. It's there to just taunt the Axis? I don't know, but it's not moving. Tiger Ace advancing, getting a nice shot on the Firefly. We do have Assault Grenadiers, but again, there's enough forces here. I think they should be able to fight that off easy. Tiger Ace backing up. Oh my god, KV-2, come on. Missed the shot on the Panzerschreck. I'm sorry, equipped Panzer Grenadier squads. Tiger Ace over the ice, falling back. Nice shot, kills Panzer Grenadiers. Yep, Fusion's down to no army. Fusion's completely gone. Meanwhile, oh god. Palm is now come in full force. Just coming on in to try to take over this side. Again, he realizes we're very close to winning. All we need to do is hold 2 victory points. I'll take this one if my allies can. Though, once again, he's having trouble with his elephant to even see the damn allied forces. So, I don't know how effective he's going to be. And he came in as the German forces were pushed back. And pretty much in all ways. So, like I said, I'm very curious to see how he's going to now hold against 3 allied players pushing in. Plus, if I was the allies, I would be like, wait a second. This guy's over here? That means he's not on his side. This could be used to our advantage. Also, once again, this guy's fortified. He does have a command vehicle as well, so that's a lot of defense for a lot of these troops. Also, British artillery pelts coming on him, so yeah, that's going to do some damage if he get hit. Elephant pushing back to Churchill. Firefly still need repairs. Although triple Firefly could be enough to break this. It doesn't matter how fortified this area is. Fireflies in force could break this very quickly. Meanwhile, again, Axis doing what they need to. They're still holding this front, and they still have some forces guarding this other few points, either MG bunkers or Panzer IVs or whatnot, to make sure they can at least try to win this. Unfortunately, again, the smoke raid comes in, stops them in their tracks. Oh, there goes a Firefly, probably from the Panzerschreck force, I assume? Although KV-2's like, nah, you're still gonna die. Oswin doing direct fire, I believe. Still not enough to kill all the British infantry. Although the Panzer Grenadier squad's there now, so they need to start chucking grenades. Artillery coming down, the assault grens coming on in. Shock troops pushing on in. Oswin hoping to stop their advance. Tiger as well moving on up. Luckily, the command vehicle as well, doing a lot of damage to it. So good job with that command tank. Good job with the Oswin doing... Oh, grenade going off, but a little late on that. Doesn't really get a hit. Wow, command vehicle being annihilated. Actually, hold on. Get that Valentine tank back. Because that could be actually useful for the Germans. Elephant moving over to hopefully push back the Firefly. Gets a great shot. Panzerschreck Force finishes it off. And yeah, British, again, against a very strong point, the Germans are actually doing quite well. But, as I say that, they lose the Tiger Ace, even though most of its body was on the ground. Don't ask why that just happened. It I guess it was just 51% over the ice, so it went through. Unfortunate. It sank into the mud, into the abyss that is this map's creek or river. Like, again, this river is miles deep. It has to be. Like, whoever put down this rod, even though it's a foot out, that is, like, the longest thing you'll ever see. Because, again, we just saw that tiger go through, so we know it's at least... We know it's at least 25 feet. Plus, we know other vehicles are on top of that. So this thing has to be, again, dozens, if not hundreds of feet long. And judging by the amount of vehicles over the course of this game that have fallen through, I am just pointing out the fact that those are probably miles down. So once again, Soviet engineering for those. Artillery and AT are enough to break once again some of the other vehicles. Again, there's a Valentine right there, still up. Command tank trying to stop these guys along with some infantry, but alas, unfortunately, looks like they'll be unable to. Churchill coming up once again. We have a Panzer IV coming on the flank, finally realizing the Sexton problem. He's like, God damn you, I'm gonna flank you and take you out. God, how long has it been with those things? I'm just saying, it's probably worth it. Also, massive Soviet, oh my God, so many blobs. Firefly and AT guns are going to probably try to quickly take it out, but not before... Oh, you missed a shot. You might want to just kill that Katusha. Gets the kill, but he also perishes from the amount of AT. But it's still worth it to kill 2 Sextons and also kill a Katusha. I would say it's pretty worth it, honestly. I would say it's absolutely worth it. Meanwhile, Ally still holding this point. And although this point's decapped, neither side is now actually gaining that victory point victory. So now we just have a bunch of vehicles going around. Tiger Race engaging a Churchill, and with the Elephant and everything else following suit, should be able to push it back. Once again, Allied players have yet to push over the water to the other side, with the Germans hold. And by the way, Germans getting a ton of resources from that area. They can't use it. Turd Wrangler has 1,700 munitions, which you figure he would use for, like, mines on the ice or something to stop the, like, oh my God, the amount of Oswin opening fire, trying to kill a lot of that infantry. By the way, how many you have 5 shock troop squads. God damn. Meanwhile, the line of AT is the ultimate counter to all this shit, because, again, it can just fire at range and not have to worry about the Elephant returning. Unfortunately, there goes another Brit force, a T-34 coming on in, trying to hold it back. But again, the line of AT, exactly what they need. Kills the Oswind. Valentine coming up. Again, the infantry might be a problem, but unfortunately you don't have any more Katyushas, so that could also be an issue. But hopefully you use some of those reserves to, like, counteract and hit it. Hopefully, maybe. What do you think, Cat? You're not really saying much. Okay. Panswerfer coming on in. Good counter artillery. Try and knock out those AT guns. Alas, still alive, and they're still putting pressure on the Elephant. Meanwhile, Oswind opening fire on the plane, which is a commando drop. I assume to take this point. I assume. If the Allies take a few points, they can easily win this game. Alas, the one point they do need, and honestly, that commando strike, which would be very effective, would be literally dropping right here. But, you know, that's why this game's going on for an hour. Oh, God. Salkren's just trying to stay alive to hold the point, but alas, being suppressed by the Vickers. Now the Panzerwerfer opening fire, I'm assuming against all these troops. Nice job with that MG, preemptively moving it before you get, well, annihilated. Panzerschreck's moving on in. With, again, it could be a good counter to any armor in this front, which they still have quite a bit. The Allies are not done yet. Oh, thank God. Why is he deploying one penal troop so deep in enemy lines while capturing? Like, grab some resources. God damn. Anyway, speed suppressed, easily pushed back. Not much to worry. Turd Wrangler, send this unit and go place every mine you possibly can down south. Like, you have plenty of munitions. Like, I know this doctrine isn't the best for it, per se. But, I mean, god damn. Like, go help your ally out. Seriously. It would definitely help you out. Absolutely. Meanwhile, British forces are just recapping this point, and with the commando insertion up north, they managed to grab the other one. So, with all that, and if done correctly, they could continue to just hold on to the VP points and just win the game via that way. Like, just VP point victory. AT gun's coming up because, again, that's your best shot. Concentration barrage coming on in, try to push them back. Very nice to see. Yes, I'm having a fight with my cat. My cat knows this. AT gun's opening fire against, yeah, Oswind's doing quite a bit of damage. So Panzerwerfer's trying desperately to kill all that stuff. Not enough, though. Nothing died yet. Infantry and armor coming on in. Panther flanked through left, but the Firefly is ready and waiting to hold it back. KV-2 actually getting a nice shot there. Shock troop stopping the blob by itself. The one troop is stopping all of them. It's gonna die probably, but it held the line for the rest of the shock troop horde to come in. Panther bit it from the Fireflies alone. Elephant had to pull back. What the hell? It's moving emplacements. What the hell is this? The game is like, F it. Just give it to the Axis. I want this game done. Meanwhile, Panther's trying to kill the Firefly with the Brumbar coming soon. Again, nice idea with the Brumbar. But not against... I mean, like, fine. I guess you got fight armor. Dude, I know... I was going to say, that was a bad idea to have that thing just constantly fighting a Firefly. Just pull it back. Honestly, you're like, the Axis right now of an army size of, like, upper 50s. Yeah, allies are easily, with resource-wise and everything, like, low 70s. Also, oh my god, AT gun. Just put it in its misery. Damn it. Can't you just make it go through the ice? Ah, oh, so close. So very, very close. But yeah, again, nice idea with the Allies being like, alright, we're just gonna get every AT gun we can and just face the Germans, because if they're just gonna keep fortifying with elephants and have, you know, all these other Panthers, stuff like that, that's how we're gonna beat them. That's how we're gonna beat them. So, nice idea there. Good effort. I still think could be better done. Like, again, I'm just seeing a lot of, like, very, again, unrefined tactics at play. Like, again, so you have some good plays, but then you also don't have the Brits being like, oh, we should probably mine this sector to stop the Germans from coming across. Like, the simple stuff like that would probably be super effective, especially with this guy who has 1,000 manpower for the Soviets. Dude, you have the cheapest mines available. Just mass produce it. Like, seriously. What are you doing? What are you doing? You could very easily do that. Anyway, Panzerschreck forces moving on in against infantry, so they're not going to do a ton of damage. Up, there goes another Firefly. From a Tiger Ace moving on up. Fusion has deployed another Tiger Ace on his front. Again, Allies just throwing everything they have. But again, same thing with the Germans, but each side just keeps losing stuff, but it seems like Germans are losing it at a faster rate than the Allies. And if the Allies do lose it, they have tons of resources to get more stuff. Firefly needs one last shot on target. Out of range. Panzerschreck force opening fire. This is a point where, yeah, you probably should pull back. Pathfinding's probably at odds here, but yeah, just pull back. You killed the Brumbar, but that Firefly is about to croak, and it does. Elephant, by the way, he's still in mobile cover. Doing totally fine. Also, again, recon, so the Germans can see everything, which is why the Panzerwerfers are opening fire. German infantry trying to take this point. Nice grenade, kills almost every model except for one out of 2 squads. So yeah, that pulls them back. As I stated, they're both throwing everything at each other, but it seems like the Allies are at least... Yeah, I don't know, out of luck or just out of, oh my god, circumstance, or at least getting more kills. Again, shocked by the Elephant, KV-2 is stranded. Needs to get the hell out of there. Main gun destroyed, Elephant going in for the kill shot, although British artillery coming down on it, hopefully pushing it back. Does manage to. I guess it was enough to scare him. Although, does get in the kill shot. Firefly still coming up, T-34s, and Churchill still coming up. Like, the Allies still have plenty of resources. Once again, we have this guy coming in from a flank, although this time he's not being utterly slaughtered like he was before. Though, T-34, could you do me the honor and just sink that? That'd be great. He's over the ice. That would be wonderful if you could just quickly knock him out. Okay. Unknown Soldier, by the way, is getting more Fireflies, because why the hell not? Tiger Ace coming in through the flank, but there's so much AT from the AT guns, the Fireflies, Churchills, T-34s, etc. Probably not the best idea to send such a resource-heavy tank just straight into the line without cover, infantry, additional armor support, really anything at all. Like, I'm very confused by that. I really am. The Panzer, again, one credit. Like, there's some, like, flashes of goodness in this game. The Panzerwerfers, Turd Wrangler's Panzerwerfers have gotten a ton of kills and done quite a bit of damage overall. Sometimes he misses. Miami, holding the right-hand side. At least that's taking resources away from the Allies, who, manpower-wise, are doing fine. But fuel and munitions, they're starting to, you know, hit the end of their limit. But the Germans have been like, well, we don't have a ton of manpower, but we have a ton of fuel and munitions, even if we can't use it. Elephant and, oh my god, so many. Pathfinding, not at, oh my god, bounce. You're so lucky. Now get the hell out of there. Allies coming back up north, being like, yeah, we should probably just end this game. Mortar coverage, hopefully stopping the Axis, although it seems to be coming down on the Allies, so don't know what to say there. Friendly fire, man, friendly fire. But they are decapping that sector. Again, I think a commando drop on the other point would be good. So, yeah, I'm just so confused. Anyway, good artillery hit coming on in. Again, still barely alive, but you may want to switch out one of those Royal Engineer squads to capture the point. Because one thing looking at this, and that thing is going to die. Elephant is still, I'll give him credit. The Elephant's still alive, and you know what? He still has his Panzer IV command tank still here. So it's at least providing the defensive bonus for some of the Germans. But it's still not enough. Pioneers are still taking this area. Recons overhead, providing sight, hopefully for long-range Panzerschreck shots. AT guns are still here, and again, they're pretty well supported. They have infantry, MGs, armor. Like, they have some things backing them up, even if they do occasionally die. Meanwhile, we have another, oh, look at that, Tiger Ace. God, they've killed how many Tiger Aces this game? I could be wrong, but I don't think Germany had this many Tiger Aces. I'm just saying, or at least on this small of a front. But I digress. Once again, British trying to push in to stop the Axis from holding on to this point for too long. By the way, Axis at least have done a fair job at holding the BP points. I'll give them credit. Artillery, though, coming on in, hurting some of the armor. Infantry advancing against the Churchill, but the MG is opening fire, suppressing quite a number of them. Grenade going out, getting a nice number of model kills. And shock troops will now be able to rush in and probably hold this point. Oswin's still there, but the artillery's keeping some range. And the AT guns, if they move up, could easily shred them, too. And just like the other Tiger Aces, it quickly meets its maker. Like, again, the guy has a ton of Fireflies over here. Your Tiger Ace isn't just going to walk in and be like GG to this game. It really isn't. Unfortunately, I think what the biggest hamper for the Germans is doctrinal choices, because the strategic reserve is fine, but I think having a more diverse palette, like, I think of assault support with this. You could use frag bombs against this, Luftwaffe support, oh god, just any air support doctrine. Let me think right now. You could do an artillery focus one. Okay, maybe not with the Sexton there. Although you did manage to kill the Sextons and push them out. I'm just thinking of anything else. These Tiger Aces are not doing it. Like, everything else is doing well. Like, sure, the Assault Krens, they're doing fine. But then maybe go the other one with the other, like, again, if you're relying so much on, like, very powerful infantry, maybe focus on, like, other doctrines with very good infantry. Nice job, he killed one Firefly, so that's a positive. Only, oh, sorry, 2 have died. But Unknown Soldier actually does have the fuel to get more. That's positive, I guess. I was actually thinking, oh, he's going to play another one. Nope, he does have the fuel. T-34 trying to get the hell out of there. Elephant, Vet 3 now. Probably the, oh my god. I don't know if this thing is fortified or not. I'm assuming it's not, but it still has the markings that it is. So it's just running all over the map. That's, oh, that's hilarious. Meanwhile, shock troops managing to go all the way around. And a smart move, for once, are actually just heading straight for the star. It's like, okay, what if instead of going through the MGs, we went around the MGs? Now, I know it's a novel concept. Luckily, Elephant using its shock to hopefully knock out the Firefly. and quickly kills it. I'm assuming... Hold on. It knows recon ahead. Okay. Ground engineers need to pull back. Again, this guy needs more AT. We're getting to the point now where the Germans might be able to win this. Just because they've had so many resources for so long, and the Allies have not pushed, or not even tried to take. There's 3 points they could take easily without even fighting the NGs. It's ridiculous. So, this could be an Allied loss, not because of them losing the fight, but them losing the resource war. Katusha coming in. Hopefully we'll get some nice shots on the blob. Nope, just out of range. Although, Churchill did. Churchill killed the Grenadiers pretty easily, so good job there. Trying to see if there's anything else they could do. I mean, good, you decap that. Great, that's 1 cash down. So it's like, hey, maybe we should push on this front. Fortified all the armor. Once again, elephants just like... Is that elephant actually... No, it's not. It's not fortified. MG opening fire against them. Trying desperately to hold back the Germans. And again, now the Allies are down to victory points. The Allies had this, in my opinion. They've so many times crushed the Germans. I feel like... And they crushed the German advance across the water. Like, they utterly annihilated it. I just feel like what probably should have happened was them kind of focus here. Like, there's nothing there. Why is that shock... Did the shock troop go for this? Really? Oh my god. What an idiot. Hey, let's not go for the VP point. That would have helped us win the game. Let's actually go for the fuel. I mean, don't get me wrong. The fuel's important, but, you know. VP points would probably allow us to gain a quicker victory. Also, that Panzer Grenadier squad's gonna die. Yeah, this MG is pretty damn tough. It's called a Vickers, if you don't know, and it shreds infantry like you wouldn't believe. So you may want to retreat that when things get hot. Panzer IV advancing, T-34, and some engineers on standby. Again, he does have some armor. He has too many shock troops, in my opinion. That's probably what's killing his manpower, is just the amount of shock troops he has. Oh god, Unknown Soldier has, like, no army left. My god. Yeah, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. Oh god, is that another T-34? No, it's a Panzer IV that died. Okay, that's positive. It's a German loss. But, yeah, now the Allies can't bring up stuff because, well, not only did they just lose all the engineers right there, hot damn, a lot of engineers. Yeah, they just don't have the armor anymore. They finally lost all their armor, and unfortunately the artillery's finally been knocked out. The elephant's now super OP. So good job by the Germans for just slowly wearing out the Allies. I do think that they could have probably won it a lot sooner if they would have probably won it with a different doctrine. I feel like the Allies are, like, literally handicapping themselves, in my opinion. I truly think they should have probably grabbed these territories. That's, what, 9 fuel and 15 munitions you got to take away from the Germans and put for yourself. That doesn't sound like a lot per turn, but added per turn, and think of, like, how many minutes has gone on for this game. So let's think of the last, like, 30 minutes. 30 minutes times, let's say, 15. That's 450 munitions that have gone to the Germans. And what have the Germans done with it? Except for Miami playing squat. Like, they've done squat with it. They have so much munitions. It's ridiculous. This guy has 2,300 munitions. Oh, my God. Grenades going out against dead bodies. So I guess they want to make sure they're dead. No survivors. Another T-34 bites it. I mean, Share Widow has a large force, don't get me wrong. But, like everyone else, not really. Unknown Soldier is 30. Oh, no. He has a decent... Oh, he has shock troops. He needs a lot more AT. Churchill, once again, barely alive. Gets killed by the elephant, which is just... Once again, I fucking love this thing. Just with its heavy cover, just chilling. AT gun now opening fire on it, along with the 17-pounder. Trying to push that sucker back, managing to get out of there. And there goes the Allies. Hot damn. That was a unexpected loss, in my opinion. I thought the Allies had that after the Germans threw it away. But no, they didn't go for the... Again, resources are so important. If they would have had additional fuel, they could have keep taking those losses. But alas, even though they were losing less, they just couldn't replenish them as fast as the Germans. How many fucking Tiger Aces did we see over the course of this game? How many? How many did we see? Well, guess what? They kept deploying more and more and more and more and more and more of these goddamn heavy tanks and infantry and whatnot, just because they could. Just because they goddamn could. I mean, Miami Plan was probably the MVP of this game just because of his fortified armor and just him moving around the elephant and actually taking over points, stuff like that. And yeah, that shows. Damage-wise, he got most, and actually Turd Wrangler got more kills, but I'm assuming that's more to the Panzerwerfers, because those things were pretty damn powerful. And yeah, they did 105 kills. 105 kills with Panzerwerfers! Hot damn! But, yeah, allies could have been better. Unknown Soldier got over 100,000 damage. Again, his Fireflies were on point. Thank you, by the way, Cher Widow, for simming this replay. You did top kills, although one beating I, and both of you did pretty well killing the Germans. I just feel like you guys should have honestly pushed and did insertion drop and stuff like that. Like, you did some decent strategies, but there's others it's like you could have done. It's even with the Germans. The Germans could have locked down the ice with minefields, stuff like that, so you couldn't even charge across it without getting minesweepers. But even then, that's a whole hassle to just get rid of without being shot and killed over the mines. But yeah, that's game. I feel like this game had some decent strategies, but overall came down to resources, and overall the Germans just did a better job at getting additional resources than the Allies did. But that's my take. What do you guys think? This has been Greyshot17 and also the Cat. Thanks, Cat, by the way. And we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully when I feel a lot better so I can show my face.
Hello everyone, and before you go, I want to thank the October patrons, which include GTA, Jakub, Spartycus, Ace, Aldo, Lopez, Chris Bailey, Folkvard, jrchicklis, Ollie, Pyroshark, Rifle, Streakingwookie, Joey G, 240, Josh, Milam, and Mustaach. Thank you all so very much for your amazing support. This has been Greyshot17 and his amazing patrons, and we'll see you next time.